I mean, all what you do is only a reflection of what's going on there. I mean, as you mentioned, France. I mean, France is, in my opinion, on a very good way. I mean, Hollande is not doing. He should do a little bit more worse for the next months, and then I mean, we will see what's going to happen there. But I mean, another thing with BNP Paribas now. I mean, I don't know whether everyone is aware with that, but I mean, in Switzerland now, when Credit Suisse has paid this higher, I mean, they were in this trouble there with the U.S. government. BNP Paribas was fighting back, and they totally resist to open their books and to give them information at all. So what they do now is, U.S. government is heavily hitting against BNP Paribas. When that comes to the point, this could be really being a big problem for the bank. I mean, this is the first bank in not a Swiss bank, but the first bank in Switzerland was really going against the fiscal government and all that. So this could, for instance, lead to more stress situation or whatever. So, I mean, you have to. I mean, in today, you have to see what's going on, what the current situation is, what the events will be over the next months. But I mean, in general, we will see whatever happens. There will be guys having large pockets, and so I mean, as long as we see, and I mean, the money. What was, I mean, 3-4 years ago, it would have been not possible to raise such an amount of capital. Yeah, what we've seen today. And today, even smaller addresses, and that's the interesting thing, even smaller addresses are able to raise capital. I mean, we were 4 years ago never being able to raise 500, 600 million. Today, I would say we could maybe raise 700 or maybe $1 billion, yeah, in a fund, because so much equity is there. You just mentioned it, the missing bond segment, and so on. But as long as so much capital is there, we will always see competitive situation, which brings, I mean, all the auctions we've seen in the past from banks and as well from just normal asset deals, the expectation was lower. And the price at the end of the day was a little bit higher. I mean, I heard that the Octopus portfolio was so-called overpaid by Lone Star. They definitely paid the highest price plus a certain premium. It was never expected to get such a price. Yeah, which is the proof of what I'm saying. And this is a normal thing. When there's competition, you can play it. You're in better condition when you're on the sell side.
I think it's quite a lot of banks have been writing back profits because they'd already provided for the loans below the exit price. So they've actually been generating profits through the sales.
Additional profits.
Yes.
It's certainly true, but there are some banks who prefer to do it quietly than to go publicly into auctions where they admit the situation they're in.
Look, I agree with that we have done transactions driven by this non-core agenda when we've helped bank exit certain countries, and that hasn't been covered by the press. And they were not. It wasn't billions, but it was hundreds of millions, and that just happened. So I think a big chunk of it is covered by the press, particularly in the loan market, because if you just scrutinize enough the market announcements and what the banks are saying, you'll find it, and they are typically auctions, so the probability of people finding out is much, much greater. But the off-market deals do exist. There's a small component, but they exist.